Okay, so here's cooling fan, radiator, condenser, little 101. So this piece right here, which it is a little broken, came out of a wreck 2014. This is the cooling fan, right? This is gonna go, it's closest to the engine. Engine would be here, front of the car here. When the hood's up, this should be the first thing that's kind of closest to the engine, right? This is a radiator. That's the next thing after that. And then, that's another radiator I might use for example. This is a condenser, right? They look kind of similar, these two, right? You'll know the difference looking at them. This one's got the black plastic on each side. This one's got the little silver tubes on each side.
So condenser, radiator,
cooling fan.
Cooling fan.
Front of the car, engine, all right? This guy's going to have some tubes kind of bolted on there. This AC condenser is for your air conditioning, right? This has antifreeze going through it, and it helps cool the engine.
Is that standing up right there?
This is it.
That's standing up.
Right?
Okay.
And that's the cooling fan, and that kicks on. Normally, if your car is moving, going down the road, and air is blowing through these, you're fine. But if the car is not, if it's sitting for a while and starts getting hot, then the fan will kick on. The fan will also run whenever you're using the AC to make sure air is blowing through the condenser. But all three of these actually attach to each other, right? Once they're attached, there's a bar, a black bar at the bottom of the car, the lower radiator support. It's called a radiator support because it supports the radiator, right? It's going to have two holes, two circular holes in the bottom. Or actually, when you're looking down, it would be on the top of it. And that's what the feet go into. So these are the feet. They got little rubber pieces on here that kind of go down in there. They help it stay connected and firm. I don't know if this guy's going to come off for me or not. But normally what it looks like if you pull these feet off, this is another radiator. This is what the feet are without the plastic. Little round things.
Hang on, let me get in close.
All right, you got these little round tubes. These are what go inside of this, right? And if for some reason, because this is the same part, or more or less close to it, right? These little things would actually fit onto here, and this on here goes into those holes in the radiator support, and that's what kind of holds it in place for the most part. Sometimes there's something on top that it might lock into, but to keep it from falling through, these little things here should pop into the holes, right? And then all three of these pieces kind of fit together. This guy, right here, it kind of slides into this. And this is actually, that would be facing front. So when you're looking at this inside the car, this thing right here that will have the tubes going out of it, that go to your compressor, that's on this side, which is the passenger side of the vehicle. On the driver's side, at the bottom of the condenser, it's got this little slot here. And this little straight edge coming off of it. What that does is it clips into the bottom of the radiator right down here. There's like a little clip. Right?
Where?
Right there. Right by the foot. There's the foot. Here's where this clips in, and I'll show you. This little straight edge goes into that clip. Right? And it also rests over on this side. What clips it in is this plastic thing on top. See when this drops down into that? And this, when I push it together, it'll snap. And now it's in there. And now these guys are together. All right?
Okay.
Normally you'd have something over here too, but this one's broken. So.
What would you have? Same type of thing?
There's probably something that goes on top of this that kind of locks it in to the car from the top. Because normally you lock it at the top and the bottom. So this has some kind of mechanism on it that probably attaches to somewhere on the top of the car, but without a car, I'm kind of guessing. So. Now a radiator fan also does the same thing. It snaps into the radiator on the front, closest to the engine. So these clips at the bottom, and these have little tabs on them. Like to get it to release, if I was taking this off of the radiator, I'd have to press down on these tabs in the middle because these will lock in. So when I take this and I put it through the bottom, there's 2 tabs on the bottom here, right? One here, which is close to this little, what this is to drain your coolant out of your radiator. You could take this off.
Don't do that.
But don't do that because you don't want to drain it. But it'll be close to this on one side, and then they have to go in together. So on this other side here, basically they're close to where the feet are, right? A clip and a clip. And then also, you got to make sure, it's got to go in at 4 points. You got to make sure they're all lined up. Here, 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 and here. You don't want like the top out when you do the bottom because then it won't be locked in at the top. If I had it out like this, you want to have it down flat to where when these go in here at the bottom, that it's already lined up with these, and then you just push down till you hear it click. Now it's snapped in. To remove it, I would have to push down here.
But this piece would be facing the engine.
That's facing the engine.
So that's how
So this is how it sits. On the front of the car here, there's the engine. All 3 of these are together. For it to be supported at the bottom, these feet, the little rubber piece around the feet here, these kind of go into, there's 2 round holes in the lower radiator support, and these pop into those holes, and that keeps it from going anywhere. Now, if for some reason these were missing or broken off, you might have the issue where it's not locking in and it's just falling through past the radiator support. So you got to make sure you have, for one, the feet. If it was broken and these plastic posts were broken off, then you don't have any feet anymore. That might be a little bit of a problem. But as long as you have these, even if you're missing this part here, this you can replace. If these are broken off, there's nothing you can do other than get a different radiator. But if these are still good, you can still buy these if you had to. You would slide them on the feet, and then you would put it down in the hole. You would make sure that the fan is attached to the radiator in the front with those 4 clips, and that the condenser is attached in the back. It should drop into the slot there. It's also supported on this side over here. And the condenser should lock into the radiator on the other side, closest to the front of the car. And that's it.